So this is going to be from MEE 322. It's going to be from Homework 2, Part 2. I was given permission by Dr. Lee in order to post this and work on solutions for the students. So let's get at it. So on problem 2, we're going to have a stress transformation problem, in which they ask us to find that sigma and that tau xy. Tau xy is over here and sigma is over here. First, I want to see what I'm doing with my signs and with everything over here. In this case, what I am going to be doing is I'm going to define whether this is y prime or x prime. I'm personally going to pick in this case for it to be y prime. I'm going to be moving it from here to here. 37 degrees. Because if this guy is 37, then this guy's 37, and this guy's 37, so that guy's 37. And I'm going to be using the opposite side. I like using this trick because it helps you not having to find the other angles. Otherwise, you could find this angle, and you could make that match over here. Make this 37 degrees and this 53 degrees. And in order for it to use it on the equations, you would have to be using that 53. And it's going to be negative 53 because it's the angle from the xy to the x original to the x prime. Cool. But again, I am going to be using something that looks similar to this. Very straight, very amazing, just right on point. And 37. This is going to be my x, my y prime, my x prime. Cool. So let's get at it. So the first thing that I like to do is to state what my stress matrix looks like at the moment. In my x phase, I'm going to have 90, and it's pushing away, which means it's tension. So that's going to be positive. Tension is positive. And we know that 80 is going to be on that y phase, and it's pushing away again, so it is going to be positive. And tau xy is what I'm trying to find, so I'm going to place that over here. Cool. Now, I gotta figure out what sign this is, if it's positive or negative. So again, I'm saying that this guy is going to be my y, and I know that it's going to be clockwise for x, so x is going to be over here for my x prime, y prime. So I know that my tau xy prime is going to be positive 60 MPa. Cool. So the first thing is always to get those signs out of the way, just to figure out what they are at the beginning, and we're able to start that problem now. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to try to find that tau xy, and I'm going to be doing that by using this formula over here. Cool. So we're going to be using tau x y is equal to negative sigma x minus sigma y over 2 sine of 2 theta plus tau xy cosine of 2 theta. And I'm solving for this guy, so I'm gonna end up with tau xy prime. This guy's gonna end up being adding x minus y over 2 sine of 2 theta, and I would end up with tau xy cosine of 2 theta, which when I pass it over here, I'm just going to divide both sides by it. So let's go ahead and just do that right now. Cosine of 2 theta. Cool. Then I'm gonna end up that plugging in those values. Tau xy is positive 60 MPa plus I'm gonna have 90 minus 80, 90 and 80, which is gonna give me 10, so this is gonna end up being 5. Sine of 2 theta, in this case theta is 37 because we again moved it to be this direction, so 37 times 2, that's gonna give us 74. And all of that divided by cosine of 74. And that's going to be equal to tau xy. Cool. So when I plug that into my calculator, I end up getting that tau xy is positive 235.114 MPa. Cool. I'm going to highlight that. Cool. And we're halfway done. Now what I'm going to have to find is going to be this sigma. In order to pick what equation I'm going to be using for is what I did at the beginning, which was to find whether this guy right here is x or y. In our case, I picked it to be y, which is why I'm using at 37 degrees. So I'm going to be using this equation. Cool. So I end up with sigma y prime, which is what we're looking for, is equal to sigma x plus sigma y over 2 minus sigma x minus sigma y over 2 cosine of 2 theta minus tau xy sine of 2 theta. Cool. And the reason that I'm using this one specifically again is for the angle. If you were to use the other angle and move it in this direction instead, you would just have to use that negative 53 times 2, and you would have to then use the sigma x prime equation. Cool. And going back at this over here, let's plug in those numbers that we found. So I know that sigma x is 90 plus 80 over 2 minus 90 minus 80 over 2. So that's going to be 85 and 5. Cosine of 74 minus, and tau xy we actually found earlier, so it's going to be that 235.114 times sine of 74. Make sure your calculator is in degrees. And for this one, when we plug it in, we end up with negative 142.38 MPa. So tau xy is equal to 235.114 MPa, and my sigma is going to be negative 142.38 MPa. Cool. Hopefully this was helpful. Let me know if there's any questions, and if going forward you would like to stay with this format of me just screen recording or going back to that whiteboard format.